That's the situation in London. South Asians make 5% of Britain's population. There has been a sense of anger among the Hindu community over the Labour Party's stand on the abrogation of Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir. How will British Indians react in the December elections slated for the 12th of December, and where will their priorities lean? WION World is One's London Bureau Chief Mandy Clark gets us this report. Take a look.
These are the people that every party is looking to win over, Britain's minority communities, particularly the South Asians that make up nearly 5% of the population at 3.5 million people.
Traditionally, Labour gets the ethnic vote. In the last election, 77% of ethnic minorities voted Labour. It means 1 in 5 Labour voters were an ethnic minority, where with the Conservatives, that's just 1 in 20.
But that is set to change. There's been much anger from the Hindu community over Labour passing a motion criticising India's action in Kashmir at its annual conference. It has led to claims that the party is anti-Indian and anti-Hindu.
Guys, we can do better than that, guys.
British Indians protested by turning their backs on London Mayor, a Labour MP, Sadiq Khan. Kuldeep Shetawat from Overseas Friends of BJP once considered running as an MP for Labour, but now he's firmly backing Tories.
Biggest reason for this is a guy called Bob Blackman. For every Indian event, whether it is in Parliament, whether it is in public, whether they're national elections of India, whether we call him to a shop, whether we call him to a restaurant, Bob Blackman stands out. He is there. He is for the community. And he is one solid reason why Indian community has now decided that, okay, at least we have somebody who is with us. And then the policies, policy-wise, what they have done, the number of ministers in present cabinet, majority of them, very good. Our Home Secretary is from Indian origin. So the community looks at all that. Community has a feel that, oh, conservatives are for us, they are not against us. That's why the Indian community is towards conservatives now.
And the Conservatives are certainly looking to woo British Indian voters with a pro-India manifesto, highlighting its desire to build stronger links with dynamic economies like India.
I had met Prime Minister himself and he was very positive. I'll be on the record, I can say that he told me first thing he will do after Brexit is visiting India. That's what he said. So that's very positive for a country to have a Prime Minister who looks at the community from a very positive angle.
The big question is whether it will be enough to change the voters' minds. Mandy Clark, WION World is One, London.
And now Mandy Clark joins us live from London here on WION Dispatch. Mandy, thank you so much for taking time out. Talk to us, from what you've seen ever since. You've seen both the manifestos come out. The Conservative Party's manifesto considered given a big thumbs up largely by the Indian community, whereas the Labour Party's manifesto, that's what your story was all about. But tell us in terms of the mood really at this point in time, because there's so much affecting this December 12th elections, the most uncertain British elections in history. How big a factor is this going to be?
You know, there's a lot of marginal seats, and those marginal seats are going to be key to the elections, because there are party politics like Greens, but more importantly, Brexit that will split the vote. So it'll make those marginal seats even tighter for Labour and Conservative, because really, even those marginal seats, there's only two parties that have the opportunity to win it. That's Labour and Conservative. And losing 5% of the vote, if enough of the South Asian community turn their back on Labour, it means it will give Tories a very strong win. And you could see the Tories really turning to the South Asians in their manifesto. They make it very clear that they want to increase relations with India. That was written very clearly. Now, Labour is trying to make up for the motion that they passed at the conference, but even though their manifesto was actually pretty positive when it came to trying to win over the minority communities, I think there's a lack of trust now with the true intentions of the Labour Party, and that is certainly damaging their chances of winning over the ethnic vote.
That's right. One more thing before we let go of you quickly. What are the chances for the Labour Party at this stage? Because clearly all the opinion polls so far are backing the Conservative Party. So is it, in a sense, ending for the Labour Party before it's beginning?
Well, it's difficult to say because Britain has a dangerous relationship with polls. If you remember, the Tory party was on track to win a majority last time around. Of course, Theresa May lost seats. And then, of course, polls predicted that Britain wouldn't Brexit. So everyone's a bit cautious when it comes to polls. But if they prove to be right, it certainly looks like the Tories are heading for a majority.
That's right. That's the latest coming in from London on the politics of London from our London Bureau Chief, Mandy Clark. Thank you so much for joining us here on WION Dispatch.